30 years in the beginning, I know what I'm talking about. I was not loved as a child. I'm in love. I love this person. You see the red flags, the friendship that is always at risk. Leave before you need to heal. Boundaries without consequences. Don't wait to find out. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to quickly come in here and share a few things that I have learned on my journey to becoming 30. 30 is big girl age. Like if you're 30, you're a big girl. This video is just going to be a couple of things that I have learned on my journey. Someone out there is probably going to be helped by one or two things that I'm going to say today. One of my biggest lessons so far, it's about solid boundaries. Life within solid boundaries is the sweetest thing. Having personal boundaries. I could write a whole book. I could talk a whole sermon about solid boundaries and about how having solid boundaries are one of the most important things that you can do for yourself as someone who's growing, someone who's developing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's never too late to start setting boundaries, but the earlier the better. I have a whole video where I talked about, solid boundaries, having solid boundaries, setting solid boundaries, what solid boundaries do for you. Solid boundaries are pretty much taking your values that are personal to you, work for you, not anybody else's, not what anybody else is telling you to do or how they're telling you to do things, but what you know, what you understand, what you believe to be true and right, and building your life around these values and basically not allowing anything which does not align with those values, which does not resonate with those values to enter your space. That for me is the definition of solid boundaries. Solid boundaries come up in family, in your love life, in your friendships, in your work relationships, every aspect of your life. It is such an important need to set and to maintain boundaries. Emphasis on the maintain, because boundaries without consequences, they're just a suggestion. It even helps you to know yourself better. It helps you to understand yourself better. It helps you to know what is good and what is bad and how to push, shift anything that's not working for you out of your life. Nobody can make you accept what you don't want to accept. If you have your boundaries and you make your boundaries known and clear, anything that's happening to you as a result of the influence of another person that you allowed in your life, is because you are accepting it. Don't expect anybody to be more accountable for you than you are for yourself. If you accept something, if you allow something, you're going to feel like, okay, well, this thing may not be good, but maybe it's not that big of a deal. It's fine. She accepts it. I treat her this way and she stays. I say these things about her behind her back and I come back and I smile in her face. She accepts me. But what's the big deal? Pack your kaya and get out. It's not going to sit well with everybody. It's not going to resonate with everybody. Mostly because values between people are usually different. It's just so much harder to get people to see you every day, to start to see you in a different light, or to start to see you becoming a person of your own. That relationship can get a bit strenuous. However, for your own self, for your peace of mind, find those things that really resonate for you and start living strictly within those boundaries. Number 2 on my list, nobody is coming to save you. It can be quite a hard lesson to learn when you're in the upcoming stages of life, when you're in the forming stages of adult life. It can be so difficult to learn and accept. Nobody is coming to make your life better than you've already decided that it's going to be. Nobody is coming to make you richer than you've already envisioned that you're going to be, than you're already working on becoming. Nobody is coming to save you but yourself. As humans, we have this thing where we feel if we just have, in the case of relationships, oh, if I could just have this relationship, I would be happier. Or if I had a relationship, I would be happier. Or if my relationship was like this, I would be happier. If you are not already happy by yourself, if you're not already happy with yourself, if you're not already working towards making yourself happy, there is nothing that is coming to save you from your current state. The amount of advice anybody gives you is going to work on your life unless you take action. If you're not ready to do the work for yourself in whatever aspect of your life that it is, you might as well just forget about it. Number 3, I've always shied away from talking about love and relationships on this channel. Not my thing, but this next point is pretty much going to be about love life. You are your own responsibility even in love. I know it's such a hard thing to accept, but in all honesty, even in love, even in a situation where I'm in love, I love this person loves me, take care of each other and all of that, the reality of life is that you are your own responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility. responsibility. Even when you're in love, even when you have someone who's by your side, your well-being is yours. Your peace of mind, your health of mind and body, and all those things, it's all still your responsibility. You are in charge of that. Your partner is not responsible for that, and they shouldn't be. You shouldn't put that burden of being okay and better and happy and all those things are your responsibility. Also your responsibility to look out for yourself. Especially as women, so many times we fall into this thing where we're expecting somebody else to take care of us. You put your own interests first or ahead, or basically to put you first. You have to put yourself first. You should be the one prioritizing yourself. As a matter of fact, if you don't prioritize yourself, whoever you're with is not going to feel like you deserve to be a priority. You need to be the one prioritize yourself. That should be what is most important. Not if the other person is prioritizing you. All that talk is just going to lead you into some deep shit that you didn't even need to get into in the first place. Take responsibility. You are your own responsibility, even in love. Ooh! This next one. Why didn't you guys tell me? Why didn't anybody tell me? The love of your life is the love of your life. Loving yourself is the highest form of love that you will ever experience. That love of your life that you're looking for, that you're searching for in people, that you're scrambling all over the place, it's inside you. An enhanced love experience with someone else will only be achieved when you actually love yourself. I don't know how better to put it. Love of your life, loving the life that you have, the life that you're living, yourself, what you've done with yourself so far, what you're planning to do with yourself, being in love with your personality, giving room for all your pros and cons, allowing them to exist in harmony, and making space for each and every part of yourself. That love of your life is that love that you're looking for, that you're hoping someone else will give you. It's right there. This one I want to talk about is really one of my favorites. Your life is constantly moving in the direction of your strongest thought. It took me so long to realize and come to terms with this one. The law of attraction is the truth. If you keep thinking bad, evil, fear, pain in tiny little inches, your life continues to gravitate towards all those type of things, all those type of situations, all those type of people. When you start changing your mindset, when you start tuning your mind to the frequency of positive things, when you start saying, I am deserving of this, I am worthy of this, I love myself, I'm a breaker of cycles, I no longer accept these things, I now want these things for myself. Listen, as you are saying all those affirmations to yourself, as you're every day telling yourself, I deserve better, I want better, what this does, it just starts pushing you to act in that direction. It's the way it conditions your mind. Start taking actions and steps towards those things. That's where the power actually is. But how can you take steps towards something that you don't even know, something you don't even believe, something you don't even understand, something that you don't even want? If you're constantly thinking negativity, fear, why would you get up every day and want to try? Why would you get up every day and want to take new steps towards achieving whatever goal it is that you've set for yourself? You'd be stuck every day thinking, oh, life is hard, nothing out there for me, I'm not deserving of love, and you just keep accepting the bare minimum that life has to offer you. Listen, your life is constantly moving in the direction of your strongest thought. This next one is a topic that is quite prominent on the internet these days, and it's the topic of healing. I have two things to say regarding this particular one. Stop knowing better and doing less. Second thing is stop waiting for things to happen to you before you learn the lesson. And I'm connecting this to healing because, like I said, healing is such a big topic, like on the internet now, right? Everyone talks about, oh, my healing journey, healing this, healing that. I appreciate that content so much because it actually helps you if you're in certain situations, right? When you listen to some things that someone has probably gone through a similar situation with you, it could help you. But also a lot of the time when I see some of that content, I'm just like, okay, but you kind of knew. Let's not even sit here. Like, even from your story that you narrated, for example, right? It was clear from the beginning that you knew this was going to go left, but you still walked into that situation. So which goes back to the two things that I was talking about. Choose to walk away from something immediately. Refuse to heal from things that you can avoid. Healing is a lifelong journey. You're always going to need to heal from one bullshit or the other. 30 years in the game, I know what I'm talking about. You will need to heal from so many things in your lifetime. Please Choose to not heal from things that you can avoid, situations that you don't need to be in, places you don't need to go, people you don't need to associate with, stuff you don't need to get engaged with. Choose from the beginning. The moment you see the red flags, don't wait to find out. There's no need. Leave before you need to heal. So the next thing I wanted to say is generally regarding health and wellness. As a woman, it's so important to prioritize your health, both mental and physical health as a person, because body keeps score. These things pile up. Trauma is stored in your body when it comes to mental health. And then basically it's important that you're just well. Go to the gym, don't overeat. Not every pleasure you need to engage in. Take care of yourself, okay? Book that gynecology appointment. Just go check it out. Let's talk about this one. Trauma. Most misused word on the internet right now, but let's talk about it. Your trauma, or any trauma that you've experienced in life, we've all experienced one form of trauma or the other. As a matter of fact, so many behavioral patterns that adults exhibit is as a result of one part of their childhood or the other. Trauma is not your fault, but you're healing from that trauma. It's not the responsibility of someone else. You didn't inflict that trauma on yourself. You didn't give that trauma to yourself. Most times it's from your environment. It comes from the different things that are happening to you as you're growing, as you're forming. But you're healing, taking care of that trauma, ensuring that it doesn't affect your life, your relationships, is 100% your responsibility. And I feel like so many people have not clocked this. That's why you hear people, when they find themselves in situations, maybe they acted in certain ways, or they did things which were unbecoming of them or the expectations that people had of them. Go into talking about things like, oh, I was not loved as a child, or I was all those kind of excuses. We're so sorry that you have that trauma. At the end of the day, it's your responsibility to make sure that you take care of it, that you heal from it, that you do the work on yourself to not allow that trauma to affect the important parts of your life. Other people's internal issues, their trauma, their problems, their insecurities, self-esteem, all the things that make them act in ways that they should not behave, or to do things that they should not do. People's internal issues are not your problem. Your trauma, your all that stuff is your responsibility to take care of. Likewise, you that is taking care of your own trauma and your own responsibility, another person's own is not your responsibility. Things that they're trying to dump on you, they're trying to make your problem stand. See, that sounds like a you problem. Oh, my trauma showed up. Hey now, your trauma showed up. Handle it. Every grown adult is and should be responsible for taking care of their own internal problems. Oh, this next one. Listen, you can't give what you don't have, and you also can't receive what you don't know. So it goes both ways. You can't give someone what you don't have as a person, and you also cannot receive what you don't know or what you don't understand. You cannot shower someone else with love, with care, with affection, with attention when you don't have that within you, when you don't have enough of it in yourself. If you've not evolved up to a certain point where you have even filled your own cup with self-love, it becomes burdensome to be able to give it to someone else. And that's why a lot of relationships, friendships can look like chores to a lot of people. That's mostly because that thing that you're trying to give someone else, that you're trying to show someone else, you don't even have it. You don't have enough of the tiny reserve that you have. You're dipping into it, you're pouring to someone else. You cannot share joy if as a person you're not happy. You can't provide peace of mind to someone else if as a person you don't even have peace. You've not been able to give yourself peace. How can you give it to someone else? Same way, something that you've not come to know, something that you've not come to accept, it doesn't matter how much of it someone else pours into you, you will not be able to receive it. Someone has never known or understood love without chaos. And then there comes someone into their life who is just ready for the calm, is just ready to take things smoothly, to be honest, to do things from a genuine place. They don't understand this. All some people have known all their life is how to be insecure, is how to always be in survival mode. You come in and you're offering something different. It's going to be so difficult. It's going to be such a hassle to get them to understand that, listen, good is also normal. My next point, in one person or the other story, you will be the villain. Get comfortable with that idea and choose yourself. You could be the villain for something bad that you did to them. You could also be the villain for choosing yourself. It goes in two different ways. If you do something bad to someone, you hurt someone, you know, do what you're not supposed to do. A lot of the time, even if you apologize, even if you don't, you know, it's a human being, you left a scar. So you could be a villain in that story. But you could also be a villain in the story of someone who you chose yourself. A friendship that is always at risk. And you just decide, listen, I can't do this. This is not for me. I don't want to do this. And you will be a villain in that person's story. You can be a villain in the story of someone who decides that they want to cheat on you, but you should just still accept it and stay, because, you know, outside of their cheating, they're still a good person, and outside of their lying, they're still a wonderful person. So why can't you just stay and manage them for who they are? You will be a villain in that person's story if you decide to pack up and leave everything that you have built together. You will always be the villain in someone's story. Get comfortable with that idea and choose yourself. I feel like I've gone on and on and on rambling in this video. I don't even know what point I'm on right now, but I think I'm just going to end it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are interested in hearing more from me about this or these kinds of topics, kindly leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Oh, I can't let him take my soul.